Alright, so it is me, NBT Sky, as usual. It's the numerology report before the reading. Period. I'll just hit this right here. So, I put a post up letting y'all know that I wanted to do a reading or a numerology report and a reading on Kanye and Kim. The conversation or the little tabloid post, it was a discussion of them fussing over school and where their children should go to school. So I decided, you know what, let me just look in general. So, numerology was interesting. Alright, so let's talk about Mr. West, who renamed himself Mr. Yi. Alright, so his birthday, June 8th. He a Gemini. This is all information off the internet, so if the birthday is not correct, then correct me and I'll fix it. The ruling planet is Mars, which is fire. So I looked at the name and broke it down into numbers. First name breaks down to 20 and 2, which is water energy, the moon. Last name breaks down to 13, which breaks down to 4, which is Saturn, which is earth energy. If you add the higher number up, you get this master number of 33, which is creative. Now you get into this 6 right here, and you're talking about, I'm trying to figure out a way. Here, I'm gonna just give y'all the words, because I'm not sitting here getting ready to go crazy right now. That I put on the side. That's on the side. Alright, so anyway, in the 6, you talk about sharing family and home. Building. The 22, though, is supposed to be the most powerful of them all, but he still came up with a master number, regardless of the fact. When you look at his birthday, oh, that's my cheat sheet, because I always gotta have one. Can't remember everything all the time. Anyway, when you come up with the master number, outside of the master number, we're talking about the breakdown of the birthday. So, when I wrote the birthday down, it came down to 20 and 2 too. So, here we got a match here with the water energy. I don't know what he was doing in 1991, but I'm sure it was interesting, right? That just made me think, because of the way the numbers came down. It came down like the years. Anyway. So that's when you look at, when you're looking at the higher. When I'm looking at the breaking it down to the lower, it still brings you into 6. Venus, which is air energy. That's also air energy. Everybody know he's aggressive in that department. Outside of that, when you look into the new name, we got the lowest of them that comes into fire. This Venus is by itself. It comes into 6. That's just a year. When you look at this Yi right here, it brings him into Jupiter and fire energy. So he decided, I'm changing my name. I'm coming up out of this energy and I'm moving into this energy, which is going to be a little bit interesting when you see how this goes. Now you got Kim right here. She's naturally coming in as a Libra, being ruled by Jupiter energy, which is fire. Now, in the numerology, when you break down the name, you got 5 and 6, you got air. You got the last name, which comes down to Mercury, which is air. You equal it out, you got the 11 and 2, which is, spiritually, emotionally tapped in kind of thing, water energy. Or you gotta see what department that's in, right? Then when you get into the birthday, the year comes down at Pluto, which is water. The day comes down at fire. I did this over here so y'all can see it. And in the month comes down at Saturn. So you got air, fire, and water coming in. Now, when you calculate this all the way across, you got 2011. I don't pay attention to this. So what was she doing in 2011? What was they doing? What was he doing in 1991? I don't know. But anyway, it breaks down to Saturn, which is an earth energy. You also have the lower number, which breaks down into air and water. So if we're talking about Jupiter overall, let me go back real quick. In Mars, right? We're talking about Mars overall. So you're talking about success, power, and achievement. You bring it in Jupiter energy, and you talk about communicative, creative expression, and growth. All right, that's the overall energy so far. All of them are in the fire, though, right about now. Now, when we, she's the only one who got Uranus and Neptune on the board, right? So if you're looking at you, so that's rest, deeper truth, in the mysteries, which is interesting because I think she came up as the Four of Swords, and that card actually represents that. So if I do a tarot card reading, then we'll just see where it drops down at, what area it's talking about. Moving right along, we got fire, water, and air here. We got Bianca. She's a Capricorn, and she's ruling in Mars. So naturally, they ruling in fire energy and the same type of energy in Mars. So that's a success, power, and achievement. That's the same. They motivate the same way naturally, even though one is air and one is earth. When you put air and earth together, you know, you can definitely find balance in it. Even though, you know, he's a twin, so he gonna move back and forth, where she's a little bit, let's say steady. So anyway, in the name breaks down to 21, which is 3, which is Jupiter. Then you have, that's the first name. And the last name breaks down to 38, which is 11 and 2, which they have a similar energy. Except for that's how overall, where this is in the last name, it's water energy. Fire, water, and then you have air. When you break it down into higher numbers, you got Mercury is verified Mercury, period. Air energy. Now, when you get into the birthday, the year breaks down to 6, which is Venus. The day breaks down to 5, which is Mercury, which is matching what her name says, what breaks down to. Then you have the day, which is technically 1, which is the sun. If you add the day and the month together, you got 6, which is Venus. But we're going to keep in mind that that's the sun, and a birthday. And for him, who are you? Venus. Anyway, so you're looking at him completely moving out of this mutable energy right here. But, you know, outside the fact that he probably didn't change his birthday, but in his name. So you're looking at him moving into a whole nother energy. He says, all right, I'm jumping into my consciousness right now, which he always says anyway, right? And in the 33rd. So he's super raising his frequency. They have similarities where she got a lot of air in her chart, right? But this air is a little bit more subtle. She's not gonna overpower him. Outside of that, when you look at how it gets broken down. So if you're looking at them in tarot, that's the 9 of Swords. She's the 4 of Swords. And this one here, Bianca, is the 3 of Coins. So therefore, that's that helping energy. I'ma support you energy. That's the thought, or that's the conversation. I'ma support whatever you want to do. I'ma pipe down when you say pipe down. That kind of thing. Now, in Kim's energy, the Uranus and Neptune already tell you that she need to chill, relax, meditate, think about it, look at it differently, because she's dealing with a different energy. She's dealing with somebody who naturally will move from one energy to the next, and still stay in fire energy any old ways. Anyways, right? So then I decided to look. So in tarot, Mars is a tower. The tower is about uncontrollable change that you have nothing to do with. He's notorious for it. Kanye is notorious for uncontrollable change. When he shift, he shift. Period. If she's in Mars, he's in Mars, then she probably has a better tolerance for his uncontrollable changes. Period. She probably just simply has a better tolerance, and she probably able to shift when he shift, for the most part. I'm not gonna say all the time. So in Jupiter, uncontrollable change. Then he jumps into Jupiter. She's in Jupiter. Jupiter brings the wheel of fortune, right? So now he's jumping into that. He was already into that, but now he's jumping into that good old good luck energy, wheel of fortune. So therefore, whatever he's getting ready to come into, he's coming into it with, is going to do, is going to go. Also, you know, you have to be mindful, because the wheel of fortune also talks about karmic cycles and cycles of events, if you're looking at this in tarot. So we have to look at that over here with the double airs in the waters, the earth. Now, I'm going to tell you, I broke that one down too, but hold on 1 second. When you look at he got water 2 times in his chart, which makes sense to me in my own way. But you know that, you know, when you're looking at it, when you're looking at it in tarot, you're looking at it like relationships, strong relationships. But also lets you know he could get a little bit emotional and mixy with it. You got the earth, which is that it comes up 1 time for him. It's always a new start kind of energy. It's always, I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to do something new. I'm going to create something new. It's always that. It's always, I receive gifts and I give gifts kind of energy. That's just his thing. Then you got the air, which comes up twice, which makes sense. Even though, you know, Gemini doesn't necessarily mean 2, but you're dealing with the twins. Letting you know that, you know, there's things that, now, dealing with the twins, you come in naturally with 2 different energies, supposedly. You come in, I would say so. I live with one. You come in with two energies. And you shift naturally between those 2. But it's also things that he may not see, or he's refusing to see, or refusing to address, maybe in, you know, in the view of Kim. Even in the view of Bianca. Because, you know, if you pay attention to the way this is set up, once he got himself fixated or his mind set on something, he not hearing nothing else. That's just that. Now with the fire energy, you got the that comes up 3 times. So, you know, this is how I'm going to take over the world energy. I'm going to conquer everything energy. I'm contemplating energy. I'm in deep thought about what I'm going to do next, how I'm going to move next, how I'm going to deal with that situation next, how I'm going to deal with whatever comes next. So he like to contemplate. Anyway, in Kim's, she got the 3 of Cups. And that kind of makes sense. You know, that celebrity life. I'm chilling. I'm with my people. I do what I do. I'm in the spotlight. I am that. I am she. Whatever the case may be. I like to celebrate. I like to party. I like to do me. That, not saying that makes her irresponsible, but it kind of matches what's presented. Not saying that it's always that way, but kind of what's presented. Now, in the earth energy, she came up twice. And, you know, it's a juggling kind of thing when you're looking at it from my way. I'm looking at numbers, birthdays, astrology, and tarot at the same time. So, it's juggling back and forth, trying to find balance regardless. Now, everybody gonna say, oh, she's super wealthy, this, that, and the third. That doesn't mean that balance doesn't have to be found in reality. So it doesn't mean that balance doesn't have to be found in money or luxury or lifestyle or friendships or relationships. So really it is a juggle back and forth between these two, trying to balance out how she wants to be perceived, how he wants to be perceived, how their kids going to be perceived. So it will require some finagling. Anywho, in the fire, it is one. So, that would state, Kim, it's time to create something that's going to bring that two together, bring that balance. This is outside of her. This is just between these two right now. It would have to be a new idea that is able to flow over there in the fire. Bring a new idea that's going to work for both. Because you still ruled by fire. You still can create. You still artistic. You still have the means to do it. So therefore, you would be able to find that if you come up with a fair and balanced idea. As far as Bianca, her water comes up in one, which makes sense because it's probably like a, not saying that she's nobody, because I personally don't know who she is. But what I will say is, it's a new adventure, new emotional adventure. And this situation probably throws her in new emotions. And the earth is 0. So I don't know how I would, I'm not going to say that she don't have, or she might not have as much or have had as much to bring to the table when it comes to him versus her. She might have came in with way less than her to him. So in the air, she got 5. So she may not overpower him, but she probably feisty. She's probably feisty, probably aggressive, maybe aggressive, a little aggressive towards Kim, that, I'll fight you energy kind of thing. I'll fight you energy kind of thing. She probably got it in her if you push her far enough. It's probably in there. But anyway, she has the 3. So when you look at it, you got Kanye with fire coming up 3 times, and Bianca coming up with fire 3 times. So in all of that, she's probably a great contemplator too. She's probably a great plotter, probably think about, different ways to approach and deal with situations. They probably planning right now. So planning on what? I don't know. But I can see these two having like minds and planning. Even if she's planning, it's probably more backed by him than her when it comes to Bianca. And in the air, you got this feisty energy, you got this heartbroken energy, because also, if you're looking at it in tarot, when you're looking at it in tarot for Bianca, that would be, I want to go to war. When you're looking at it in tarot for Kim, that would be, I'm heartbroken. When you're looking at it in tarot for Yi, then you're looking at it as there's things that are not being seen or not being addressed, or that we're refusing to address. It's just that simple. So I only brought that into play because if I do the tarot card reading, I would like to know where does the Tower fall at? Because the Tower comes in and matches. That's interesting. Matches Kanye and Bianca. The contemplation and thinking of how you're gonna move and how you're gonna deal with the situation pops up for Kanye and Bianca, which is very interesting now that I think about it. Now that I am thinking about it. Now you got me thinking while I'm doing it. While I'm doing the damn report. Now I'm thinking. That is interesting, right? I must say so myself. They both come down as the sun when you break down a 10 and a 1. They both come down as the sun. Which lets you know they both have the ability to be great entrepreneurs and build their own things and create. They have that ability. And so does he. The bottom line is, outside of Bianca, it would require a new idea that works for both of them, and for, it to come into balance. It's just that simple when it comes to Kanye and Kim. When it comes to, Ye and Bianca, when you look at the fact that they got this tower here, and they also have the 3, it's like, there's things that Kanye understand about Kim that Bianca don't understand about Kim. So Bianca would have to trust Kanye's way of being and moving when it comes to Kim. Because there's this energy where if I don't get my way, well, this is this energy of, if I do not strategize and kind of contemplate and meditate on how I'm going to move in concerns to this particular situation, then we might have a tower experience between Kanye and Bianca. Period. That's how I see it. So therefore, the safest route, when you're looking at astrology, numerology, and tarot, is that Bianca would have to say absolutely zero, zilch, nothing, and let Kanye and Kim hash it out. However they hash it out. That means Bianca can't say not a damn word, only because she don't know the extent or degree that Kim can go to find her concept and idea of balance and getting what she wants. And that's just how I see that. So therefore, next time you see me, I might, depending on how I feel, I might decide to do a tarot card reading. But I am interested to know, what was Kanye doing in 91? What was Kim doing in 2011? And what was Bianca doing in 2001? I am definitely, well, she wasn't doing too much, but I'm definitely interested in knowing. That's an interesting thing. I don't know what any of them was doing there, but that came up in an interesting way. Anywho, I will see y'all later. It is me, NBT Sky. You already know. Later.